Okay, we're going to talk about how to engage the transverse abdominis laying down on your belly. So, with this exercise, what it is intended to do is not strengthen the muscle, but rather to activate it. Because we know this transverse abdominis muscle is one of the most important core muscles, I would argue, because it's the largest. It wraps all the way around the trunk and it really connects your rib cage all the way down to your pelvis. So it's a stabilizer of your pelvis, your low back, your trunk, your hips, etc. So it has a big job. And so oftentimes what I see people struggle with is turning on the muscle properly without overly engaging the obliques and the rectus abdominis, because we know a lot of the core work many of us are familiar with and are accustomed to performing involves a lot of flexion or crunching. And so I'm not saying that that's bad, but that's probably not the strategy that is going to be the most effective for us to learn how to activate this transverse abdominis muscle. Because the transverse abdominis doesn't flex the spine. Its job actually, when it contracts, it draws in together, it narrows your waistline, and it lengthens your spine straight. So those are two great benefits. First of all, narrowing the waistline, lengthening the spine. I don't know anyone who doesn't want that in their own body. And so we can't practice this in a flexed state, at least not to start. So we're going to practice it on your belly, because oftentimes just laying on a flat surface, you can really feel the change in the excursion of the transverse abdominis, or the TA, I like to call it, muscle. So we're going to lay on our belly here in a second. I'm going to coach you through the breathing strategy, the diaphragmatic breathing that we've done before, and you're going to be able to hopefully see the actual change in my muscle movement and in the abdominal activation around that area of my body. Okay, so I'm going to do my best to walk you through it verbally while also showing what it may look like in my body. Okay, so as you inhale, you're going to feel the expansion breath. We talked about 360 degrees of an inhale breath. Okay, so your belly is going to expand, it's going to relax down into the floor. And then as you exhale, there's that natural recoil of the rib cage to come in towards center. We're just going to facilitate that a little bit more and make it active. So this time I'm going to ask you, on your exhale breath, you're going to draw your belly up and in as if you were giving yourself a hug. Okay, so when you're laying down flat, what's going to happen is when you inhale, your belly is going to sink down into the mat. It's going to expand. And then as you exhale, I want you to imagine that you have a marble sitting underneath your belly button. This is my enlarged belly button here. So you have a marble underneath your belly button. And what you're going to do on your exhale is you're going to scoop it up and you're going to pull it up away from the floor. Okay, so here's my belly button holding the marble. As you inhale, you're gently going to set your belly, set your marble back down. Exhale breath, scoop it up, pull it up and hold. Inhale breath, set the marble back down. Sounds a little crazy, but at least for many people that I work with, including myself, my own body, it tends to create this great visual. So we're going to do it together. Bear with me. I'm going to show you as best I can what this looks like in my own body. Okay. So, get myself lined up here. I'm gonna hike this up just a little bit so you can see some movement in my rib cage and in my belly region. So I'm gonna take a few breaths here. As I inhale, I'm gonna expand. As I exhale, I'm gonna draw my belly up and in. Picking up my marble with my belly button. It's not physically lifting away from the floor, but it did move. As I inhale breath, I let it go, I expand. And as I exhale, I draw that belly up and in. One more time here, inhale, breath, expand. exhale breath, pick up the marble with my belly, lift it up. Now I don't know how much you can see this. In the video, it's almost like I could stick my fingers underneath my belly, partially, not all the way through, as I draw my belly button up and in and find my transverse abdominis. So it's that exhale breath, that hugging up and in, that activates the TA. So here it is again, exhale breath, up and in. There's my TA hug, okay? Notice my butt and my hips did not move. I did not tuck, I didn't lift my chest. Nothing in my actual torso moved. It was just physically in my belly region that moved outward and moved upward and inward. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so we just activated the transverse abdominis muscle, the TA muscle, on your belly. You're probably wondering where this is going, and what I want to give you hope for is that this skill of being able to perform this exercise is going to help teach your body how to turn the muscle on, turn the muscle off with a straight spine. So I want you to think long term. Long term, we need to be able to activate our core when we're standing and we're just upright in our daily life. We need to be able to activate our core when we're doing a squat, a lunge, we're getting in and out of our car. We need to be able to activate our core in a plank. Lots of people like to do planks. And so just think about all those activities we do where we're not actually flexed forward and hunched over, that we need to be strong in our midsection. So this is just the foundation. This is just teaching you how to turn that muscle belly on with a single strategy that tends to resonate and work well for most people. So we'll have other videos to come that's going to talk a little bit more specifically about how to do this on your back, how to do this on your hands and knees, and we'll kind of build it up from there all the way into those planks, which is ultimately is I kind of know what you all want to get to. So hang tight with me, practice this one. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.